blow.
The Idaho Peace Officer Standards and Training Academy, also known as POST, first opened its doors in Idaho in 1970. It moved to Boise in 1980, and then here it opened its headquarters in beautiful Meridian in 1994. For more than 47 years, POST has trained and certified peace officers from all over the state of Idaho. Its authority can be found in Title 19, Chapter 51 of Idaho Code. Hello, I'm Isabel Bilbao, and thank you for joining me on this tour of POST. We're going to open our doors and take you behind these walls. Before POST, it was up to all the individual agencies to train their own officers. Some were sufficient, others were less than adequate. Idaho lacked standardized, quality law enforcement training.
I went in to apply in 1958 with the Twin Falls Sheriff's Office. And he said, sit down over there and start dispatching. Now that was my training. And that was normal for that day. There was no training, it didn't exist. It was all on the job. Is our work complete? Never really completed. Standards will never be complete. There's always a higher standards of excellence. You've got to attain it by expecting more than other things is possible and risking more than whatever people think is safe.
Much has changed since 1970, but one thing that has not changed is that Idaho Post continues to set the statewide standard for educating and training peace officers. It is here that officers gain the necessary skills and knowledge to serve the people of Idaho. They rise to the standards of physical education, or PT, while learning the intricacies of the law. They practice combative tactics and arrest techniques and develop skills with firearms and emergency vehicle operations that will give them the tactical edge. Training truly never ends here at Post. Neither does it for anyone in a career as a peace officer. We are committed to excellence through training, and we share that commitment with everyone we train, whether they are in probation or parole, corrections and detention, or communications and patrol. It all starts with the Post Council. Appointed by the governor, the council's membership includes police chiefs and sheriffs, prosecuting attorneys, and state and local government leaders representing agencies and organizations within the law enforcement community. Their principal purpose is to establish and enforce the training, education, and employment standards of peace officers, as well as collaborate on the curriculum and practices employed at Post. Post also works with the Idaho legislature to appropriate funding and to refine statutes and rules. Many people associate Post with the training of police officers, and while that is true, there is a lot more that goes on within these walls. Namely, we make sure that officers of all disciplines are certified law enforcement professionals. At Post, we certify officers in 9 disciplines. Peace officers to include patrol and reserve officers, fish and game, and Idaho State police officers. We have detention officers, communication officers, juvenile correction, detention and probation officers, adult misdemeanor probation officers, correction officers, and felony probation and parole officers. We also offer K-9 team certifications for patrol, controlled substance detection, tracking, evidence search, and explosive substance detection. Post also upholds professional standards, revoking certifications if problems arise, in order to maintain a level of excellence for all our sworn officers. Upon application for employment as a peace officer, all new recruits go through an extensive background investigation. Once they meet all requirements, they start in what is called the Academy, one of several disciplines. At the Academy, they get everything from classroom experience, training, testing, scenarios, and more. Everything a recruit needs to begin their career in law enforcement. In the Correction Academy, students become familiar with the operations of the Idaho prison system, treatment of violators, maintaining order, and rehabilitation of the prison population. the majority of offenders supervised by the Idaho Department of Corrections are not incarcerated. In the Probation and Parole Academy, officers are trained to monitor compliance and supervise felony offenders on a day-to-day basis. Community supervision and intervention are often more effective for the offender and more efficient for the state. Similar to the Probation and Parole Academy, the Misdemeanor Probation Officer Academy trains county officers who are responsible for the supervision of adult misdemeanor offenders. The academy teaches them to protect the public by holding those offenders accountable, providing opportunities for reformation, as well as promoting innovative prevention activities through fundamental community-based practices. The Detention Academy will provide the knowledge and skills necessary to serve in a local jail facility. Graduates will be well suited to supervise detainees awaiting trial or serving their sentences. The Juvenile Correction, Detention, and Probation Academies prepare students for careers working with youth offenders. These academies train officers to hold offenders accountable by providing opportunities for rehabilitation and integration, which will empower them to lead safe, healthy, productive, crime-free lives. The Emergency Communication Officers Academy raises up public safety communicators. The essential work of the dispatch may often go unnoticed.
911, what's the address of the emergency?
But the ability to provide key communication between emergency services, officers, and the communities they serve is invaluable. And then there's the Patrol Academy. This basic academy has a curriculum of strenuous PT, applicable law, and particular skills necessary for patrol duties. Upon successful completion of this course, patrol officers will be ready for field training programs at their agencies.
Good, there we go, there we go.
The instructors, they do a really good job of being prepared for class. They want to make sure that the students have a good understanding of the core subject that they're teaching, not only the basics, but how to apply it to the job that we do. Physical training classes in the morning to arrest techniques and defensive techniques. I'd never had any training like that before. It's almost the best practice you're going to get, so this is the best way to prepare you. They wanted us to do the best that we can. They have high expectations of us, but I felt very supported by the Post staff here.
Post also regulates self-sponsored programs hosted at several colleges and universities all around Idaho. Students enroll in these programs to prepare them for a law enforcement career. Upon completion of the program, they are eligible for certification in the state of Idaho once they are hired by an agency. Having already proven themselves in these programs, they are much stronger candidates to be hired. And it is Post that ensures they meet the same standards as the officers that graduate the academy.
Well, the great thing about an academy, it gives you a great foundation because first of all, you need to understand the law. You need to understand how it's applied. You need to understand the policies, the different procedures. You have to develop skills to help you interact with people. So we bring in the best instructors that we can find that are active in their specific field in law enforcement in Idaho. That way we can make sure that that instruction is being provided properly and that the students are learning, are developing the skills, developing the problem-solving abilities that they need in their fields. We also do live scenarios. We hire professional actors that really bring that emotional aspect to a scene.
Don't move your head.
So we have all these different scenarios that we then, after our students kind of have gotten that little foundation we've taught them, we then put them in that scenario so that we can kind of test them, see where they're at, let them kind of figure out and see some of those what we call the aha moments, like, hey, I now get it, I see it. We throw in some stress factors to kind of force them to be a better problem solver. They want them to understand that we do have this high standard. We are trying to promote, the high standards of ethics and any aspect of that they can apply not only to law enforcement, but their personal life.
Successful officers and law enforcement staff are often welcomed back to the academy to teach our classes. Vital knowledge and skills are passed down from seasoned officers to our new recruits, sharing real-world lessons and applications. And it is Post that hosts instructor development programs to certify instructors on how to teach. This ensures that the training offered is complete, current, and well presented.
Well, majority of the instructors that we have here at Post are experienced law enforcement officers that are subject matter experts in their field. Having experienced instructors is so valuable here at Post because we have the students that are trying to learn such an important lifestyle for them. You know, they want to go out and succeed in their job. And in order to do that, they need to learn everything here that they can. Sometimes it's a very short time and they've got a lot of information to learn, and we want to make sure that we have the best instructors so that they can get the most experience and the most learning. In order to become an instructor here at Post, you do need to go through a 40-hour instructor development class. It involves a lot of adult learning, a lot of presentation skills. Not a lot of our instructors have an educational background. A lot of them just have that experience in the field. We coach them how to teach and have them work with another experienced instructor, and so those are the key instructors that we want to have here at Post. People that have really great first-hand knowledge of how to do the job and do it right.
Really do anything to elevate the use of force.
Once officers have graduated from their respective academies and commenced their careers, their training continues. Post will offer support for officers throughout their careers. Post operates an online distance learning network. A variety of training courses are available to academy students and in-service officers to continue their training. Programs such as canine interaction and explosive identification are available on demand, allowing them to continue training whenever and wherever they need it, in the Post Computer Lab, in their agencies, or in their homes. And with certifications for management, supervisory, and executive roles, officers are encouraged to promote and acquire additional certifications. Post is vital for law enforcement in Idaho. We keep our officers current on laws, procedures, tools, and tactics to ensure our community stays safe. We are always planning for the future and bringing up the next generation. And thank you for joining us on this brief presentation of Post. If you're thinking about starting a career in law enforcement, we hope our presentation enlightened you on all of the possibilities to be a peace officer in Idaho. If you're looking for more information, we encourage you to go to www.post.idaho.gov.